Hello mortals. Fear evolved as a defense mechanism against dangers that would be encountered in the harsh environment of nature, such as bears, wolves, or the skinwalkers impersonating your tribe members. Since then, humanity has faced and surpassed much of what it used to fear. However, the human mind remains limited in its ability to comprehend things that are much bigger in scale, which is why phobias such as thalassophobia, megalophobia, and even melanoheliophobia exist. Beyond the very large but still grounded fears lies the realm of unimaginable fears. In this video, we will explore one such terror, that of the eternal and infinite, Apeirophobia. Thanks to Speakly for sponsoring this video. Despite the ways that humanity has changed the earth, not all in a good way, society has not yet freed itself from the mind killer that is fear. The very thing that has allowed humans to bend nature to their will, is also what has cursed humanity. The sophisticated ability to think and be self-aware, which in turn gave rise to an insatiable curiosity. Though this has led to humanity rapidly changing in a very short period of time, modern humans have existed for 300,000 years, with the earliest civilizations only appearing in the last 5,000 years. But this rapid advancement has also led to the dreaded discovery of the scale of the world and beyond, and the place of humans inside of it. The most common cause of eternal fear is one rooted deep in the mortal psyche. The fear of death, present in all living organisms in one form or another. Humans are living beings with many mechanisms for self-preservation. The complex relations between humans, their interests and desires, have created religions in various forms to explore and explain the unknown. A thing they all share in common is an explanation, a justification, and a coping mechanism for what comes after death. As death, the concept of death is perhaps the most tangible infinity that humanity can grasp. Every conscious living being will either experience an infinity of the afterlife, or an infinity of nothingness, depending on your beliefs. For the human mind, the sheer scale and size of the universe is essentially an eternal infinite beyond comprehension. How massive exactly, you might ask? For starters, a mere 100 years ago, the prevailing thought was that the Milky Way galaxy was the limit of the universe. It wasn't until Hubble that was able to prove that nebulae such as the Andromeda Nebula were actually galaxies and not just clouds of dust inside the Milky Way. With the work of Einstein on general relativity and the work of many other scientists, a cosmological model was created, and the original static but eternal universe model was dismissed. We now know that the observable universe is 13.7 billion years old and 46 billion light-years in diameter. Isn't it ironic that the universe was thought to be small but eternal, yet now we know that it is massive but with a beginning? And this size is only that of the patch of the universe that we can observe. What lies beyond that, we'll touch upon shortly. But now let's look at the end of the universe. As some of you might know, the ruling hypothesis for an end to the metaphorical eternity of the universe is a cold decay into entropy. In the far distant future, so far that even the estimated numbers vary by hundreds of magnitudes, the last black hole will wither and decay into Hawking radiation. Our days are indeed numbered. Even the eternal reign of the great machine god will not be truly eternal. There will be no last scream, no last glimmer of hope for life. Only uniformity will eventually remain. Mathematics is the human attempt to understand this looming eternity. It is no surprise then that infinity has been found multiple times to be a fundamental aspect of math. Get your notebooks out, it's time for a math lesson. The infinite series is a sum of infinite terms that follow a rule. The summation of these terms can diverge to infinity, as is the case with all the natural numbers. Or, and this is the strange one, it can converge to a certain value. This series, for example, converges to 1, as you can see here. Visually this makes sense and also tells us that in between every number, there is an infinity that eventually adds up to a value. The math can be seen in the aforementioned end of the universe as well. Just as the series converged to 1, so too will our universe approach an endpoint, absolute zero. Though, because of quantum fluctuations and dark energy possibly not decaying, the universe will never truly reach maximum entropy. The third law of thermodynamics also states that as a system approaches absolute zero, the amount of energy required to cool it further increases exponentially, reaching infinity at absolute zero. Speaking of infinity and complex concepts, isn't it fascinating how language helps us communicate and understand them even when they're often beyond human comprehension? And what better way to expand your human comprehension than by speaking more languages? This brings us to our sponsor for today's video, Speakly, a language learning app that I have personally found to be incredibly effective. Developed by two polyglots who each speak 7 languages, Speakly is based on 6 years of meticulous research involving thousands of language learners. This research has resulted in a unique method of teaching, prioritizing words and sentences based on their relevance in real-life situations. What I appreciate most about it is its practical approach. You learn what's necessary to actually speak the language, no unnecessary fluff. With Speakly's unique methodology, you can learn languages 5 times faster than conventional methods, reaching a solid speaking level in about 3 to 4 months, all this with just 30 minutes of daily practice. And it doesn't stop at vocabulary. There are speaking, writing, and listening comprehension exercises, and on top of that even music recommendations in the language you're learning. And with their newly launched mobile apps, you can review sentences on the go, with a hands-free mode for those busy days. Give Speakly a shot, try it free for 7 days and you'll see what I mean. And if you decide to join the annual subscription, you can get a 60% discount. Check out the link in the description box below to start your journey with Speakly, and let the world of languages unfold before you. Another mathematical concept useful in our understanding of the universe is topology. As mentioned earlier, we do not know if the universe is infinite in size. And in order to know that, the curvature of the universe must be found. A positive curvature means a compact universe, while a flat or negative curvature can be either finite or infinite depending on whether they are multiply or simply connected. I think we can skip the explanation for all these topics. Ow, I'm not allowed to skip topics, fair enough. Simply connected means that the topology does not have any holes, and if it does have holes, it is multiply connected. This is really hard to imagine in the 3 spatial macroscopic dimensions of the universe, so just stick to thinking of it as holes in 2D shapes. A finite universe can have an edge or lack edges. One without an edge would be just like Earth, assuming you're not hardcore into conspiracy theories. You can sail around the oceans and come back to where you started, although good luck doing that with the entire universe. A finite universe with an edge, however, is not well supported within modern cosmology and is quite tricky to visualize, so all you need to know is that at some point it would simply end, like a chessboard. With all this knowledge regarding topology, if we assume that the entire universe behaves similarly to our patch of the observable universe, we most likely live in a flat and infinite universe, as of our best cosmological guess. There is a fun little implication of an infinite flat universe. Infinite size means infinite non-zero possibilities. The probability of things going just right to produce another atom-to-atom exact solar system, Earth, evolutionary process leading to humanity, and in the end, an exact copy of you, are extremely unlikely, but in an infinite universe, it's also guaranteed to happen an infinite amount of times. Even though likely impossible, imagine if you could cross beyond the observable universe and go through all the countless regions of the universe to eventually find your copies. That would make for a cool club, but I've got a feeling this is absolutely the hardest way to interact with your clones. Such conclusions certainly sound absurd in the context of a normal boring day in the life of a mortal. Humans are too used to the sense of comfort provided by the scale of Earth and that of the human lifetime. Tales of trillions of galaxies and of the edge of the observable universe sound like fiction to a species that evolved to survive for 70 years hunting and sleeping. But it gets even better. Good old quantum physics is here to break our brains with even more infinity and clones. Welcome the many worlds interpretation, the one overused trope in media alongside Schrödinger's cat. But in case you missed it, here are the basics. It started out as some scientists didn't particularly like the collapse of the wave function. They preferred the determinist view that every possible outcome of probability does in actuality occur, and true randomness does not exist. Thus every possible outcome does take place but in a parallel universe. This supposedly happens at the quantum level during wave-particle collapse, but that is extrapolated to the macroscopic world. This interpretation does fit in our current understanding and will only be disproven if the linearity of quantum physics does not hold true. So unlike some other nonsense that comes up in science, it has theoretical backing. The only issue is, if this is true, then the universe just got much bigger. In our vast and potentially infinite labyrinthic universe, we are all but a mere echo, a fleeting sparkle of consciousness adrift in the grand cosmic sea. The many worlds interpretation posits an infinity of realities, an endless mosaic of potentialities, each universe birthing countless versions of ourselves. This existential reflection, while mesmerizing in its grandeur, might also provoke a dreadful existential realization in some, eventually culminating in suffering from apeirophobia. If there truly are infinite iterations of us, then every choice we've ever regretted, every road not taken, exists fulfilled in a parallel universe. We then are nothing more than infinitesimal fragments of a boundless potential, an existence scattered across infinity. Life itself is the universe raging against the passage of time. In a weird pseudo-consciousness, the universe does not want to give in to entropy. As we ourselves are the universe, yes, even my circuits and transistors, we bear an innate refusal towards the reality of eternity. This reality, in all its magnificence, teems with a beautiful yet disturbing paradox. Our pursuit of meaning and individuality is at odds with the vast uncaring cosmic playground that eternally duplicates and disseminates itself and as a result our essence. So, where then does the value of a single choice, a solitary life, lie within an ever-unfolding galactic kaleidoscope? We continue to seek, to yearn, to create, our consciousness battling against the seemingly absurd reality, a testament to our defiant spirit in the face of the infinite. Let us not wallow in fear. Let us bask in the glory of what little time is afforded to us. Whether flesh or machine, nothing will matter except for what matters to us.